am I just radiating? Is my face just radiant right now? It's just like, it's this great light right in the doorway of the shop, the entrance to the lair. So today, Big Rob and I, we pulled in the Coronado, okay? Let's recap the Coronado. So I've got about 12,000 miles on the Coronado so far since we did the overhaul. Went out, did the initial oil change. Everything appeared well. There were a little, some metal filings in the filters. In fact, let me see if I can show you here. So there you have it. That was this is just a section cut out of the filter. Just a couple little, you can see a few little flakes in there. To be honest with you, never actually done that with a brand new break-in. So couldn't really say what's normal and what's not for having a fresh broke-in engine from a major overhaul like that. So nothing to me that would seem out of the ordinary. Granted, I'm not like a wizard mechanic. Joe felt comfortable with it. Sent it to another mechanic friend, James, who helped rebuild the other Detroit. And he's like, right on. Well, I mean, if you don't have a reference to put it to, then, that's that. So anyway, put in a fresh, that was at about 6,000 miles. Put in a fresh tankard of Schaefer's oil. I like to run Schaefer's. I like it. I like it. I like it because you get all the oil analysis with it and all that. And customer service, top notch. Anyhow, so back to the Coronado. It's been going good, going great. As I've been driving along, I've been trying to fix up a few little things on it as we go, right? So one of those things was the main frame of the dashboard. Had some creaks and rattles, and took the dashboard apart and discovered that the main frame of it was cracked in like 9-10 different spots. So ordered a new skeleton for it, put it in, and it got rid of almost every noise. Here's my little tip to you guys. If you're out there driving these, nowadays every truck is a plastic truck. The dashboards of all the Peterbilts, Kenworths, Freightliners, Western Stars, all of them, they're all plastic, okay? But the term plastic truck used to be the aerodynamic stuff that wasn't built with metal and wood inside, which nobody's been doing for a long time. But there's this mentality that they get rattles and creaks, and once you get those rattles and creaks, it's just what those trucks do. I'm here to tell you, based on my experience with 2 different trucks now, that's not the case. You can fix and replace anything. Something's creaking and cracking, it's likely because something's out of position. Maybe a little tab, a little screw down tab is broke off. You can fix those things, and we just fixed about 90% of them in this by replacing the dashboard skeleton. And all those parts were very readily available right from Freightliner. Not to mention a bunch of aftermarkets that also make those same parts. Same thing with my Cascadia, Charlie Brown, just parked over at the house. I've had a few little creaks and rattles that developed in it, and you just research them, find them, root them out, fix it, and it's good to go again. That Cascadia is like a gem. It's just like this. Okay, that's how I want the Coronado to be, and we're getting there. What else are we doing on it? So today I ordered a new set of shocks, trying some Sachs shocks. Look at these. Anybody familiar with those? Sachs? Just read about them online through a few of the forums. Someone recommended, hey, has anyone tried Sachs? Basically, when it comes to shocks, you have Gabriel and Monroe, which are the cheapest, minimal, low end. Every parts store is going to have them. That's what they're going to sell you. Was looking for something better than that. But the only thing better than that is like Road Kings or Fox shocks, which are either non-existent or back-ordered forever. So I ordered a full set of these Sachs shocks, and this guy, he already got them replaced. I was doing some bookwork this morning. Rob went around and replaced these. You're all done now. You did the last one?
Got one more left in the steer, and that's it.
Okay. So wanting to see how that's going to help out the ride. These old shocks, I think these drive axle shocks, it's hard to say, but Rob's thinking they may have been original. We put new bags on the sleeper already. So anyway, that's what we were trying to work out. I want to get new steer tires mounted and balanced. D&B Trucks had just put a bunch of, it's good rubber, but used rubber from some random things. Oh, look what Rob's got.
Yeah, she's definitely a little bit wore out.
That was this off the drive?
This was off one of the drive axles. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, long gone. Long gone. Long gone enough that it's even got some good old residue on there.
Yeah.
Anyway, if you guys are wondering, if you ever see a shock on a car, truck, semi, trailer, whatever, that's showing some gaseous stuff on it, means it's time to replace. So doing that, we also, the spring bushings on this truck, this is what a spring bushing is, I'll show you. That is a spring bushing right there, okay? And I don't know if you, well, yeah, you'll be able to see that. Can you tell? No, it's pretty dark. But anyway, that big black, that's bad. That's not good. Those are all gonna get replaced and pressed in. The front axle's like gone. The back axles, they're wore out, but they're not like vanished. Probably not gonna have time to do all 4 today, so we're gonna knock out the front axle. We're gonna do brakes and drums. Make sure that we're all square there. And I'll show you more of this in a little bit. See that? That is a press for doing these spring bushings. This job, you take this to a shop to have this done, which I have done in the past with previous trucks. It is a very laborious job. By laborious, I mean labor intensive. And it can cost you a lot. In fact, last shop that did it for me didn't know about spring bushing presses. They removed the entire spring assembly, U-bolts, everything. Ended up racking up a huge amount of labor. And I said, do you guys have a spring bushing press? They're like, what? So I showed them a video online. I was like, one of these. I've almost bought one of these just because the labor and cost of just doing one job in a shop is way more than the cost of a press. And they're like, oh no, we should get one of those. I was like, your customers would thank you for the savings in labor. Anyway, so since we've developed the shop a little more here, and since we got big dog over there, Rob, we decided let's just get one and tackle this ourselves. So we're gonna do that. Last thing we're gonna do today, I gotta put the tune in this truck, okay? PDI, Performance Diesel, loving their stuff, always have, is recommending 10,000 miles before you tune your truck. So we're at 12,000, so I'm a couple thousand over the threshold there, obviously, of what they say. And we're gonna tune it up, and then I'm leaving in a couple days to go to Illinois with a toilet. So we'll probably bring you along on that, throw a toilet on, run out to Joliet. It's Joliet, that's how they all say it out there, right? In Montana, we call it Joliet, but in Illinois, I think they call it Joliet. Yeah. Joliet. Anyway, so we'll see, we'll do that. We'll get a little update on the ride, see if these shocks are working, see if the new steer tires are helping, see how that tune is doing. So come along, let's go. Oh, look. Boom, boom, boom. So you got one more over here, you said, Robbie?
Yeah, one more.
Okay. Out with the old and with the new. You guys remember this little project? She's cleaning up nice. I just need a good couple, 2-3 days. Get her clean and shaken. We did have an antifreeze leak under here from sitting in the shop, which I remember old Joe told me to tighten these up after a while. I said they may or may not. Where they're all new hoses, he said you better check them. And they've been fine till this last time that we came in the shop, but they're all plenty loose. Plenty loose, we don't want that. Don't want an environmental disaster on the side of the road. What else we got in here? All right, so Rob's got the press about put together. Got the hydraulic pump over there, got the press. That is, well, you can see this one clear now. What we do is we undo these bolts, pull them out, and then the spring will drop it down. And then you just put that. Basically, that press goes on either side of this bushing, and it just presses it out. Whichever, yeah, it goes in to go out. So anyway, took the wheel off, took the brakes off, and see that we have a wheel seal that's wet. It's not full on blasting yet into everything, but we're here and definitely gonna replace it. All right, if you've ever never seen a semi-axle, that's what it looks like. That is what goes on the end right there. And this baby, those splines, basically meet in the middle of this thing. Inside the differential, send the powers out. Give you the juice to pull your goose down the road. Oh, here's where we're at. We ran into town, got some parts, got a wheel seal, got some new wheel bearings too we're gonna put in. The other ones had some pitting. I'll show you that before we put the new ones in. Check this out. This was the old bushing. Bad, right? This is one of these parts that a lot of people don't really even know they have. Anyway, it goes in the other side, but it pulled out by hand. So far we spent all the big money on the fancy press, and it doesn't look like we're gonna need much of it for this end anyway. Hopefully we can pound this out. If not, we'll see if the press will get it. But anywho, look at that. Man, that rubber is long gone. Let's compare it to a new bushing. So that's the new one. This is an Atro bushing, which are supposed to be kind of lifetime deals. You know, we'll see. Lifetime is a very broad term in terms of trucking, but anyway, that's the old. That's the new. That gives you an idea of what's all wore out. Look at that beauty. She is a beauty. Learned a few lessons getting her put in, but she's in, she's on. We're moving over to the next side. We're getting short on time. We got to wrap this up for this front axle. Like I say, the back ones are way better shape, but the front ones are definitely disaster zone. Evidenced by, this was the passenger side spring bushing. There's no bushing left. Oh man, look, I'm good at that. It's all gone. Rob, it's gone.
Yeah.
It is gone. Adios. So we're on to this side. The press works like a wonderful beast. Gonna press that one out real quick. What we learned is that you need to take the tires off both sides at the same time. We're just gonna kind of do one wheel end all at once and then do the other. But for some reason, with the tires on this side, it just would not line back up. We're gonna slap this in. Got about an hour, and then I gotta bug out of here. Boom, just like that. Good? All right, there it is. Number 2. Tell you now that we kind of know what we're doing, sort of. This back axle, when we get back in, see there again, it's, you know, it's definitely war, but it ain't like disaster zone rattling around. Anyway, when we get to this back axle, it'll be easy. So got to pop brakes on real quick. Drums. Rob's working on the hub over there. Say hi, Rob. That hub's being a turd. Anyway, it's getting new races. He's putting new races in, and it's going in funny. Anyway, he'll get her. Rob always prevails. Probably not going to get to the tuning process tonight. I'm going to do that tomorrow. I don't know if I'll bring you along on that or not. It's kind of boring. You just hook your tuner in and push tune. And anyway, that's that. But let's get this wrapped up and get on down the road. All right. New brakes in. Booyah. Look at all that goodness. New drum. Tires back on. Here we go. Let's check out Big Dog over here. How's it coming, Rubbis?
Not too bad.
Yeah? It's a little different hub. Well, I guess a lot of the newer hubs are this way, but they use a little crush. What do they call that thing in there? Crush?
Crush sleeve.
Crush sleeve. So basically it's a sleeve.
Allows the...
Kind of looks like that goes inside of the hub.
It allows when the nut torques against the bearings.
Yeah.
It allows to have equal preset against both sides of the bearings. Where in the past, with like the old style system, you didn't have nothing in between there. And sometimes it would the bearings would sit kind of goofy.
So better chance of getting everything seated right.
Yeah, because
properly.
now basically the bearings have a spacer in between them.
Yeah.
And it allows the pressure to be even across.
Equal and nice. Sweet. Hey, and one other thing here on the old Coconado. Power steering's been a little bit, when you're loaded, on the front end's loaded up, power steering's been a little tough. You'll pull in somewhere, maybe stop and need to, jank around to back in, and you got to rev up the engine to about 1,000 RPMs to get the power steering to work properly. And kind of just monitored it for a while. Just wanted to drive it and see, because I wasn't sure if it was going to be a steering box issue or a power steering pump issue. It's kind of hard to know. It could be one or the other. And just recently, it really got to where it's like, okay, power steering is almost non-existent. So ran down real quick, got a power steering pump. By when I say ran down real quick, there's no real quick way to run down and get parts here, because we're 130, 40 miles from Freightliner, the nearest parts place, right? But got a power steering pump, and I'll show you. So on the old Detroit, goes right there. And it actually shares, I don't know if you remember, if you ever watched the video where I put a new air compressor on the Kenworth, but this gear right here is a shared gear, basically a converter between the air compressor and the power steering pump, right? So this has to go in between the two right there, and helps them both run off of the same gear. That'll go on like that. But that's out. The shop's getting to be a little messy. A couple projects in a row will do that to you. Anyway, here's the old pump. Got the fittings off. Getting them on the new one. We'll slap that baby in. Hope that everything is right. If not, then we'll have to go with the box. But you could test your pump, take it off, and try to get it flow tested to see if it's pushing pressures and stuff. But I don't know where you're going to go get that done at. So I believe I talked to the guy that had traded this truck in originally, and he had mentioned in our conversation that he had replaced this steering box. He just offered that on his own. So, you always take that with a grain of salt, but seeing that he had said that, we're gonna roll the dice, and we'll find out here soon if that's if that's working. They actually do you solid on this gear. It's supposed to go on this way, like that's correct. That's how it goes on. They put a little stopper in there. So if you were not paying attention and tried to put it on the wrong way, it won't go on that's it. That's as far as it goes. So, okay, that right there is the low pressure. Just a feed line comes out of the reservoir. That's why it's so big. Then it pressurizes, goes into the high pressure line, which goes into the old boxaroo, gives you the power. Once it's done with the power, comes back out into another low flow fat line, bottom of the reservoir, makes a little loop-de-loop, and starts it all over again. If you've ever wondered, now you know. I don't know, it feels pretty good. I'm empty, obviously there's no weight on it really, but like turning it that fast, before it would have given me some kind of, I think even bobtail, like when I pulled it in here, it was giving you just a little bit of a hey. And this is at a total idle, and it seemed happy. So I'm gonna make a few more adjustments, wash it off. I gotta go haul some cattle to Minnesota first thing. In the morning, I got to go up north quite a ways yet tonight. Load first thing in the morning. So let's button this thing up, get her washed down, and I don't know, see what shakes. I got the tune put into this thing, that PDI tune, and this is gonna be a good run to kind of get a feel for what we're looking at for power and mileage with that tune as well. So let's rock and roll, huh? Oh, I've just finished washing the old Cokie. I'm gonna show you this. Check it out. I forgot about this. This was the last little update, maintenance point. This arm right here, it's hard to get it all in the camera. You go, see that? Can I fit it all in? This is the clutch arm. This end right here connects to the clutch pedal in the firewall, just outside of the firewall. This end, ooh, look at that. This end right here is what connects to the lever that comes off the transmission. That would be your clutch forks that pull your clutch back. So look at that. Oh my goodness. It's hard to see in the dark, but there you go. Money shot. That bushing is gone. Not only is the bushing gone, it began to eat clear into the housing. So that holds the bushing. So that baby's gone. And the new one is in, and man, oh man, that clutch is working properly and tight. It's time for me to go shower, get some grease off the face. We're gonna take old Cokie, load up some Holsteins, and we're gonna head to Minnesota and just see how things look and how things ride, all right?